Hey friends, welcome to day 2 of our topic 15 practice test. Remember that this is like your bell ringer for the week. So complete the written work for these problems each day, going along with my videos. At the end of the week, return to your Monday folder and submit all of your written work for me to grade. My hope is that if we do a few of these problems from the practice test each day, you'll be better prepared and feel more confident when it comes time to do the topic 15 test. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on problem number 5. Christy has a piece of jewelry that's in the shape shown in the picture below. Which of the following describes the shape? Is it opposite sides parallel? Well, let's take a look at that for a second. Remember that we can show parallel lines with arrows on opposite sides. So that shows that these lines, these opposite sides, are parallel because they are exactly the same distance apart at all points on the line. At no point do they start to move closer together or further apart like this. Okay. So that looks like it's true. Opposite sides are parallel. And then if I look at these sides, this is just a short little line segment, but they do indeed appear to be parallel. Same thing over here. Short little line segments that are exactly the same distance apart from each other. So line segments can be parallel no matter what direction they face, whether they're diagonal like these ones or diagonal going the other way like these green ones. Opposite sides are parallel. So I'm going to go ahead and say that choice A is a good choice, but let's look at the other ones. Let's see, choice B says it's a regular polygon. Now, a polygon describes a figure with straight sides, at least 3 sides, angles, and vertices, no curved sides, they have to be straight, and it has to be a closed shape. So this also looks like a good answer choice, but let's think about what they mean when they say a regular polygon. Gentle reminder that if you have not watched the video in Envisions for today, you need to go back and do that. In the video, they remind us that a regular polygon is one in which the lengths of the sides are equal. And we can clearly see that the sides of this polygon are not equal. So I'm going to cross out choice B. Okay, let's think about what a pentagon is. A pentagon is a figure that has 5 sides. So if I erase all of my highlighting so that I can count the sides a little bit better, let's count up the sides. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's definitely not a pentagon. A hexagon is a figure that has 6 sides. So of course I know it's not a hexagon. Therefore, the correct answer is A. The opposite sides are parallel. Okay, let's look at question 6. The figures below are trapezoids. So they tell us that they are trapezoids. We don't have to figure that out. They just inform us that they are, in fact, trapezoids. Which generalization is correct based on these figures? That is a mouthful, that word, generalization. What they mean by that is which of these statements are generally true or usually true of trapezoids? Okay, so let's think about which of these statements are generally true or usually true. Choice A, a rectangle can be a trapezoid. Okay, let's think about that. The definition of a trapezoid is that it's a quadrilateral, meaning a shape with 4 sides, and it should only have one pair of parallel sides. So here in this shape, I can see one pair of parallel sides that I just marked. And then these sides that I'm highlighting in red are not parallel because the distance between points gets greater and then less as you move down the line segment. So they're not like railroad tracks. They are not parallel. If I look over here at this shape, I can see that these sides are not parallel. Again, because if I measure the distance between points on the line segment, I can see that the distance between these points is smaller here and greater here. So those are not parallel lines, but these line segments are parallel. A rectangle cannot be a trapezoid. And the reason I know that is because a rectangle has two sets. Whoops, that did not work the way I wanted it to. A rectangle has two sets of parallel lines. Opposite sides in a rectangle are parallel. So here's one pair of parallel lines in this rectangle, and here's the other pair. Okay, so choice A I've eliminated. B, a trapezoid can be a square. A trapezoid can be a square. I'm going to say no for that one as well. And the reason is because a trapezoid can only have one pair of parallel lines. But by definition, a square must have two sets of parallel lines, and then each side has to be of equal length, which we probably already know. So opposite sides for a square have to be parallel. So I'm going to get rid of choice B. Choice C, a trapezoid can be a parallelogram. Now, a parallelogram is a figure in which both sets, a parallelogram is a figure in which both sets of opposite sides are parallel. And a trapezoid only has one set of parallel sides, so I'm going to get rid of that one as well. Choice D, a trapezoid has one set of parallel sides. That's a true statement, and I can tell that from looking at my figure. Okay, moving on to number 7. The triangle shown below has two sides of equal length. What two terms apply to this triangle? Okay, so let's think about it. A triangle that has two sides of equal length is called an isosceles triangle. We can also call this an obtuse triangle because it has one obtuse angle that I can mark here with red. Interestingly, triangles can only have one obtuse angle. If you try to draw a triangle with more than one angle that's greater than 90 degrees, all of a sudden it becomes impossible to make it a three-sided polygon or a triangle. So triangles can only have one obtuse angle, and then the other angles must be acute. Okay, so tune back in tomorrow for your next set of problems for this week's practice test. Remember that at the end of the week, you're going to be uploading your written work for the whole practice test and submitting it then.